He's their guy. That permeated the John Lynch pre-draft press conference yesterday. Purdy is their guy.
Yep.
2 years after, everything they gave up to get Trey Lance, they get Purdy with a flyer as the final pick in the draft. He's their guy.
Yes, he is. There's no question about that. You can hear about it with what Shanahan said right at the owners' meeting. Hey, if he's healthy, he's number one. He's taking the reps. I can speak to my private conversations with Kyle Shanahan and how much respect he has for Brock Purdy, and that he does think he found something here, for the future in their football team. So yes, he is their guy. There's no doubt about that. I think they were pleasantly surprised. Not only by the human and all that, and I think they knew he was smart, but the fact that he was so cool and calm under pressure. He had such a natural feel for the football game, and then could deal with a psycho like Shanahan, who's always, hey, put this play in, listen to me, and he can handle that. So I think that's where Shanahan sees the potential for growth and, him to be the starter for a long time.
Trey Lance is the guy who was supposed to be the starter. Trey Lance reportedly available in trade, or they've been fielding calls. Not making, fielding. We're not trying to trade him. We're just answering the phone. Here's John Lynch talking about Lance's current status with the 49ers from yesterday.
Trey and I have talked, and we're on the same page, and Trey knows exactly where the situation is.
Are offers made, or is it just kind of feeling you guys out?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of smoke, really. It hasn't been extremely active, and it's not like we've put it out there that, hey, we're taking offers for Trey, call 1-800, that's not been the process. People's job in this is to ask questions. Has that happened on a couple occasions? Sure. But hasn't been that substantive.
Is it accurate to say your expectation is Trey Lance is going to be on the roster throughout the 2000?
Yeah, absolutely. I expect Trey to be here, and we're excited about Trey's ability to compete and what he can do for our franchise, just as we were when we drafted Trey. And I think the only thing that's changed this offseason is that Trey's gone and got himself healthy. He was injured last year. He's done a really good job of doing that. He's done some different things in terms of his training this offseason. He's very encouraged by that, and we'll see when we get an opportunity to get out there on the field with him. But we have every reason to be encouraged as well.
Yeah, look, I don't expect them to trade him. They have him at a low cost. They have all their quarterbacks collectively, low cost. Trey Lance, third year of a slotted deal, even though it was third overall. Third overall isn't what it was pre-2011. Sam Darnold at $4.5 million. Brock Purdy in that bottom of the seventh round contract. They're in a great spot to keep all three guys and see what happens. We talked about that last week. Why would you move on from Trey Lance? You learned last year you need your third string quarterback. You never know when he's going to be your guy. And you never know what's going to happen when he gets a chance to be the guy. Maybe that's what Trey Lance needs. Maybe he needs a Brock Purdy scenario where they just kind of turn to him and say, well, you're all we got. Go out and see what you can do. And he goes out and he plays well with no pressure. So I don't see it happening. If someone's going to blow them away, so be it. But we know how they are about quarterbacks. We know they want too much. They're going to have him this year, and then they'll make a decision after 2023 where he's going to be in 2024.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think if they got the trade offer right now, they'd do it, right? I mean, they expect him to be a 49er because they did not get any expected phone calls or offers for Trey Lance. I think they would. I think the fact that they've even broached this conversation says it all. It says it all. I mean, this is a guy that they drafted at number 3. They traded away 3 first-round picks, right? It's year 3. And he was open for trade conversations, and they were open for business. I mean, if that doesn't say it all, I don't know what else does. To what you just said there at the end, Mike, he kind of had that opportunity in the spring and in training camp. And damn, he didn't take advantage of it or make anybody feel comfortable. So they were like, damn, we actually got to bring back the guy we said we did not want to bring and we were so sick of and everything else. We got to have Jimmy Garoppolo back because it ain't working out here. Uh-oh. So I think a lot is, I don't expect them to be moved because of a lot of the things we've talked about in the past too with Trey Lance. One, I don't think there was a ton of teams in the Trey Lance camp when he was coming out in the draft. I think he had a few, right? but there was flaws there. I mean, there's a reason I had him as the number 5 quarterback in the first round that year. There was questions about his throwing, lack of play time, rawness, all of it. And now here we are, year 3, and he hasn't played football in 2 years again. You know, how could there be great value for the player? So, yeah, I think they're going to have to suck it up and take it on the chin right now and hope he develops. And if that opportunity presents itself like you talked about, hopefully at that time he can be ready to go and take advantage and maybe show us all why he was the number 3 pick.
The issue first emerged early this offseason because at some point John Lynch made the comment in reference to Trey Lance trade potential. We'll consider everything. That's
right.
what we do. Well, one thing they won't consider is a trade of Nick Bosa. Lynch said yesterday, that hotline is closed. It never opened. There are certain players who are untouchable. You're not trading Nick Bosa. Trey Lance, maybe. Nick Bosa, no. You know, he was also asked about Lamar Jackson, that they at least thought about it because you think about everything. But again, why would you want to put yourself in a spot where you got that much money and even more draft picks devoted to your quarterback position? You already burned off 3 1s and a 3 for Trey Lance. You're not going to throw more to try to get a guy that you're going to have to pay a bunch of money to. Who knows how much? Who knows what he's going to want? And wait until he gets a load of the California personal income tax rate of 13.3%. So that's never going to happen. So you consider it because it's quarterback and he's an MVP, but probably dismissed pretty quickly by Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, Chris.
I would think so. Man, they got some big contracts on their roster. They're a team that's shown that, you know, hey, we know that they need a quarterback, but they're not like one of those teams that's like, oh, so dependent on their quarterback, we don't know what would happen without them. You know, Shanahan and them have shown they can do it. Their team's real. Yeah, I don't think they're looking to do anything like Lamar Jackson and all that. And then Nick Bosa coming up. I mean, Nick Bosa's he's maybe the best defensive player in football, and he's extremely important to that defensive scheme in which they play out there. So I would expect him to be getting a deal here soon of, I don't know, Mike, highest paid defensive player ever. I mean, I really think that's where we're going with Nick Bosa. He's going to one-up his brother Joey Bosa and T.J. Watt, I would expect, really, when all's said and done.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I'm surprised he hasn't gotten the deal yet. He's overdue, and I with each passing day, I'm more surprised they haven't done it. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.